Hey guys, Big Boy here. I got another review for you today. If you remember, my last review was on the outstanding HBO series of Band of Brothers. Well, today I am going to be reviewing the follow-up to that from 9 years in the future, The Pacific. Now, right off the bat, I kind of want to apologize about my voice. I have to talk kind of quiet. I have a really sore throat right now. I actually called out from work. So you might have to turn up your volume a little bit, but I'm going to try to talk as loud as I can. So after watching Band of Brothers, I really was invested in this World War II time period. I really liked the atmosphere of it, and I really thought that HBO did an outstanding job with the first miniseries. So I went out the next day after I finished Band of Brothers and I picked up The Pacific on Blu-ray. Now it is still created by the makers of Band of Brothers. It is executively produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. So they are have a big role in its production. We get kind of a different way of telling a story with The Pacific from Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers was more of a throw you right in the middle of a story that has already been going on, following the lives of these soldiers as they work their way through the German invasion of World War II. But with The Pacific, it actually shows you the three main characters in their home lives before they ever even go to the war. These men are known as Robert Leckie, Eugene Sledge, and John Basilone. Now in this first episode we get to see where they each live in different parts of the United States. Each of these three characters kind of have their own little story going on. Their plots don't intersect all that much. Robert Leckie and John Basilone actually get into the Marine Corps and go fight World War II in the Pacific, battling the Japanese soldiers. They get right in, right off the bat, make a name for themselves, and meet their comrades and stuff over there, and they're fighting the war. Eugene Sledge, on the other hand, has a heart murmur, and he wants to join the military so bad, but he can't. He doesn't actually join for a couple more episodes, so when he actually gets in, his best friend that also had joined, and all these other men are already well in tune with the war and the horrors of it, so he gets in. He's kind of like the rookie, and they each of these three main characters each have their own little demons to prove. I did like the slower change of pace. A lot of people did not. A lot of people liked Band of Brothers more, but I kind of like the slower starting personalization of these characters, and that's what The Pacific kind of does. Each episode will jump back and forth between these three primary characters, and we will get to see them in a different part of the Pacific with their little cast of war friends. There's usually 3 to 4 characters that are always with one of the three main characters, and you kind of just see the bond between each of the three groups. My favorite character by far was Eugene Sledge. He is a born Christian, raised in the south of Alabama. He is very humble at the start, but as the series progresses, he really kind of gets dark. So with that said, he definitely had the most of a change throughout the series. It's very interesting to watch. Also, his relationship between Snafu, one of his really close friends in his squad, I thought their relationship was the most interesting. The acting was outstanding in this series. Each actor did a fantastic job making things feel believable in these harsh environments. I literally, when I saw them digging holes in blood-filled mud and like guts everywhere, and they have to spend the night in this, I kind of felt like taking a shower after seeing that, and they just made it very believable. Episode 10 had to be my favorite episode out of them all, which is the last episode. very, very emotionally draining episode. There's no deaths in the entire episode. It's just these soldiers coming back from the war and having to just readjust and say goodbye to one another. There was this one particular scene where one soldier did not wake another soldier on the train when they were leaving, when he came to his stop on his way home, and he did not wake up like his friend from the whole war they spent together, and he just walked off. And I read online they never talked to each other for 35 years after that, and that made me cry. It wasn't the only time it made me cry. Episode 10 made me cry 3 times. 3 times. So with all this said, the Pacific is an incredibly amazing and captivating experience that I didn't think was possible to put on TV. Every single person that you see in the show was a real person. At the end, it actually shows their pictures side by side with the actor. Yeah, that was one of the times that made me cry in episode 10. Go buy the Pacific. It's relatively expensive, like Band of Brothers. I believe it was $45 on Blu-ray. I bought mine in the tin Blu-ray. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it. Thanks for watching this review, guys. I really hope you see the Pacific, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.